Okay, we're here. Let me, but the chat's not logged in. We have audio, though. Good morning, everybody.
Hello, good morning, Yep, chat is not, chat's not up. I'm doing my, my Styx Hexenhammer impression today. I feel like it's pretty solid. Alright,
Oh, Jesus. No, I am not a robot.
Alright, everyone, it's time to talk about the Marie
Haha,
Callen...
you thought you were going to sneak an extra fire hydrant on me.
Is it... Yeah.
All right. So.
Steve says audio is good, you licking chicken. No. I'm not, currently,
yes.
but... See, I was going to do a thing.
Okay.
Alright, let's do this. Memewar Monday.
Yeah, buddy.
We gotta start with the Sharon's Pie thing. Like, and we're not gonna do the whole show on this, but, this was funny shit. Like, memetics is this, like, it's almost magical. Like, it really is how the internet can latch onto a thing and just make it better than the sum total of its parts. Just immediately.
Yeah,
So, just in case, like, you're one of, like, 17 people who don't know, Sharon burnt the shit out of her Thanksgiving pumpkin pie and complained to Marie Callender online. And as you can see from the picture of the pie, what went wrong with her pie was not Marie Callender's fault. It was Sharon's fault. And Marie Callender responded very, very classy, very politely. The rest of the internet, however, correctly pointed out that this was Sharon's fault. And now you have 60-year-old Facebook users who know what the word yeet means because of Sharon's pie. Because as one person pointed out in the comments, pretty sure the instructions don't include yeeting the pie into the sun. So,
and just real quick. So here's the cooking directions. So it's not a thaw and serve pie, right? It's not a Christopher Edwards lemon meringue or something where the pie's ready to go. It is supposed to be baked. Right? 375. Okay. Internal temperature 165 degrees. I would like to point out, this is an internal temperature above 165 degrees. That is my expectation. And let me tell you something. I've had a lot of pumpkin pies over the years. A lot.
Mm-hmm. I have not. I don't actually care.
Around this time of year, my mama gets these pumpkins. Pumpkins. I mean, big-ass pumpkins. The kind of pumpkins that win ribbons. And she turns them into pie after pie after pie. And not too long ago, actually, we accidentally ended up with a can of pumpkin pie filling, which my wife turned into a pumpkin pie. Now, don't get it twisted. My wife is an absolute magician. Best pie crust you will ever put your mouth around. But there's very little that can save that canned pumpkin filling. So we've decided that pumpkins are not for canning.
Yes. Some things can corn. Can it, it's fine.
Absolutely.
Asparagus, can it, and it's nasty.
I'm sure you can can a pumpkin without screwing it up, but these people did not. And it was awful. So we had 2 pumpkin pies that evening, one good one and one canned one. And I learned my lesson. I've never had a Marie Callender's pumpkin pie because, quite frankly, we use pumpkins.
Well, I'm sure Marie Callender did too.
Yes, she did. I don't know. It's hard to tell from this picture. But I am amused by the crayon, absolutely.
Yeah, so if you need a chuckle, just look up Sharon and the pumpkin pie and just read the comments because, man, the comments are gold.
They ate her alive. They really did.
Yes, not the pie, though.
No. Not that.
You know your food is bad when you like try and give it to your dog, and your dog's like, "Nah, I'm good, fam." Nah, like, and that was that pie right there. Like,
so, and to change topics, let's get around to what we're talking about this morning. The only thing blacker than Sharon's pie are apparently Jussie Smollett's attackers. So let's take. I think I want to start with the shame, the absolute shame that should be heaped onto Jussie's supporters. So there's a lot to go through here, and primarily we want to focus on the memes this morning. But I want to start.
It is Memewar Monday.
It is Memewar Monday.
Well, I mean, this in and of itself is a meme, though.
It is absolutely. So a big shout out to Jeremy at the Quartering for bringing my attention to this, and Libs of TikTok for putting it together. The Libs of TikTok thread on Twitter is absolute gold. If you want to study and understand the enemy, the absolute psychopathy that is the modern Democrat voter, go check out that Libs of TikTok. And it's I mean, this is mild. Right. When I went to find this on their thread this morning, the first thing at the top of it was high school teacher comes out as lesbian to her class. You know what? You don't belong in the teaching profession, because your sex life is not a topic of academic interest to the children of the United States of America. Go away.
Well, I mean, and who really cares? Especially kids these days that, for better or worse, have been so, I mean, like, just, they've been steeped in hypersexuality their entire life. Like, by the time you're in high school, like, your teacher coming out as gay, like, that's barely even a blip on the radar.
Right.
At that point. Like, your teacher comes out as a pansexual clown something or other. That might be a little spicy, but just like regular old plain boring gay.
But not surprising.
No.
So we've got this. These are all tweets from right after Jussie made the accusation, and like
The magical
one
accusation.
of his rebuttals was, well, the return address on the letter before the attack was just MAG8. You think I made that up? Yes.
Yeah, you made the rest of it up.
Yes, I do. I think you wrote the letter. I think you orchestrated the entire thing from the beginning as a publicity stunt, and quite frankly, he should be treated like a war criminal. He should be treated like he tried, because this is what he did. He attempted to start a shooting race war. His intent was nothing short of absolute violence and chaos in the streets.
I mean, are we sure that was his intent, and that his intent was not to have some, like, narcissistic victim fantasy that raised his profile and got him a raise? Because, man, and I looked this up and I'm blanking on it, but I want to say that he got $10,000 per episode of Empire. And, man, give me $10,000 per anything, right? But putting that aside, are we sure that the whole thing wasn't just to basically raise his profile and make him some kind of figurehead in the community and all of that? Like, it's I see a world where it's possible he was trying to cause the race war, but I also see a world where he's just a pathetic loser that couldn't think of a better way to raise his profile.
Steve, you're getting ahead of me. I got you. It's 1:30. They're going after him. We'll get back to that. Okay, let me counter that with this. When Spike Lee tweeted out the address of what he believed at the time to be George Zimmerman, do we give him the benefit of the doubt that this was just interesting public information? Or do we correctly assume that his intent was to rile a mob to go and murder Zimmerman?
Well, no, that's not the same thing at all. The Spike Lee thing, he was obviously trying to intimidate Zimmerman and anybody that would think or act like Zimmerman. I mean, I think that's pretty clear.
Okay. So Smollett clearly went out of his way to not only fake a race hoax, but went so far as to try and pin it explicitly on a racial group, a racial and political identity.
Yeah, to raise his profile, to fit a narrative, to become a victim, to. I mean, I think he's.
Words are violence, Cameron.
Right. See, I don't mind admitting that, like, I think he's pathetic in a really sad way. Like, I feel sorry for him. Not like I feel sorry for him where, like, his luck ran out and just no matter what happens, he can't just seem to get it together. Like, I feel sorry for him in the same way that I feel sorry for a lower life form that keeps bashing its own face into the glass outside your window because it doesn't understand what glass is. Because, I mean, you go back to the beginning of this, and supposedly Fox was getting letters about the gay dude on Empire. And again, I go back to, what's an empire? And
yes, this isn't complicated, Jussie. We don't watch your show.
Well, we don't watch the show you used to be on. You conveniently got yourself fired from.
Oh, yeah.
You moron.
Fair enough. Yeah. We didn't watch the show you were on.
I barely even knew the show existed.
Mighty Ducks, good job. It's gone downhill.
Yeah, and Alien Covenant? Yeah, he was in Alien Covenant.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did he die?
Yeah, as a matter of fact,
did.
yes, he did. In the shower, no less.
Oh, sounds like almost sounds prophetic.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But no, like, I feel sorry for him because supposedly he was getting hate mail for his show, and...
Yeah, that almost sounds prophetic.
Oh.
J-Lo. Amusingly, though, Cosby's out.
Yeah, but, I mean, it's a meme thing.
So let's do some memes.
Because it's Memewar Monday.
Oh, what is the guy's name that back scams the scammers? He did the ducks. You have to have seen this guy.
No.
Okay. Anyway, first American to scam Nigerians. Honestly, I'm presented without comment. We were talking a little bit about. Okay, I'm gonna hold this one in reserve for just a minute, and let's take a look at some of these. Kamala Harris. Jussie Smollett is one of the kindest, most gentle human beings I know. I'm praying for his quick recovery. Let's not forget, this is Kamala Harris,
Right.
the spit roast in chief, who. This is not a theory. This is an uncontrovertible statement. Raised money for the defense funds of dead to rights, caught and arrested BLM terrorists all throughout the time that she was campaigning for president, and after she was picked to be the vice president, based exclusively by his statement from Joe Biden on her race and sex. Don't ever forget that Kamala Harris is literally only the vice president because she is a woman of color.
Oh, see, because of that WAP. Oh,
and if you haven't seen Ben Shapiro's interpretation of WAP, where he discusses the severity and complexity of the necessary bad medical condition required for the description that is made in the song, you've missed out on some solid comedy gold. Nothing like a little Jewish lawyer for deadpan comedy.
Right, Jussie Smollett. The racist.
Go ahead.
But look, you got Bernie Sanders, the racist and homophobic attack on Jussie Smollett. And then Joe Biden, what happened today to Jussie Smollett must never be tolerated in this country. You know what, Sleepy Joe? I'm actually going to agree with you. We totally should not tolerate hate crime hoaxes. In fact, we totally should not tolerate these types of hoaxes at all. And this is a thing that we've talked about on this show. Like, if you accuse somebody of a crime and you are clearly lying, okay, not that you made a mistake or anything like that, but you're fabricating evidence. The example that we go through is often go to is rape. If you accuse somebody of rape and it turns out that you're lying, then if the rapist would have gotten 2 years, you should get 2 years. So if, and this is not going to happen to him, but in this case, because he tried to say there was a hate crime, like if Jussie Smollett had gotten his way, the Osendara brothers would be charged with hate crimes at the end of it, and boy, would that be weird. Like, but I masturbated with him in the bath. I helped him work out his meat. And I promise he went to Subway. It was not a foot long.
And what's funny is these comments can be read correctly. Just like Cameron's saying, the racist and homophobic attack on Jussie Smollett is a horrific instance of the surging hostility towards minorities around the country. And then we come to this. We must come together to eradicate all forms of bigotry and violence. Okay, Bernie, now do the hate crime. Now do the hate hoax. We must come together to eradicate all forms of bigotry and violence. Does that include obvious hoaxes with obvious political leanings? Right? Right? What happened today, Joe Biden, what happened today must never be tolerated in this country. You're right. You're 100% right. It must never be tolerated in this country that somebody can use an obvious propaganda maneuver to cause harm to the entire country by changing the relationship we have with law enforcement, and common decency in the way that we treat one another. We must stand up and demand that we no longer give this hate safe harbor. 100%. Jussie Smollett needs to be sentenced. I mean, he's been prosecuted. He's been convicted. I will still be shocked if he sees a moment in jail or prison as a result of this.
Yeah, I don't.
He's not going to be incarcerated.
I don't think so either.
He will effectively have gotten away with it scot-free. He may have to pay the $130K back to the police, but for a professional actor, that's paltry sum.
I don't know. I think he might be done, man. Like, if he did get fired from Empire.
If the punishment for a crime is a fine, then it's not illegal. It's just
expensive.
Illegal for you. It's expensive.
Yeah.
There's a big difference between something being illegal and something being expensive.
Well, what he says...
And that goes back to the thing I've always said about, if it's not a degree of murder, which, by the way, I will argue this is, then it is not a crime. If it's not something that's worth executing someone over, it's probably not actually a crime.
Well, it says, we must come together and eradicate all forms of bigotry. Oh, we need to eradicate all forms of bigotry? Well, what about the clear and obvious bigotry that exists against Christians, that exists against conservatives, that exists against, let's call it the social right, that exists against guys like Chris and I who are pro-life, not because we want to control women's bodies or some other Handmaid's Tale bullshit, but because, we're parents, and we've seen that pregnancy thing happen a few times now. And
don't kill babies.
Yeah, don't kill babies. I heard a guy, man, I'm blanking on his name. It was that year I spent in Tennessee, but there was a guy that was running for Congress up there. He was still had as Joe Biden would say, a slight Indian accent, and was running for Congress up there. And he had a 15-second spot on the radio where he said, "I'm pro-life because my mother was," and it's like. That's that's a pretty solid argument. So if we're really going to eliminate bigotry and we're really going to go after it, how about we go after the bigotry that is so rampant that a guy can perpetrate a hate hoax? Because remember, it didn't take folks like us very long. It only took the internet, us not real journalists, right? Us not real
like 10 minutes
commentators.
to say, no, wait a minute. Bleach freezes just freezes when it's that cold.
And really, like, Chicago is MAGA country, and there's some problems with this story, and
All of them.
like, and he just left the noose tied around his neck. Like, you realize you could have just handed it to the cops. It was still evidence. Oh, you wanted your picture taken that way. I see. Okay. But then when we questioned it again, we were the bad guys. Was you believe all women, or in this case, believe the gay Tupac? Well, first of all, if you have to refer to yourself as the gay Tupac,
then you're not.
And
like you got Swalwell here, right? The who went bang bang with Fang Fang. The Chinese, the man who had sex with Chinese spies and is still on the House Intelligence Committee. But hate crimes like this are happening more frequently, egged on by careless, hate-filled rhetoric. False. It's a lie. Through the Trump presidency, we saw dozens of hate crime hoaxes.
Yeah, we saw more hoaxes than actual hate crimes.
And they were all obvious hoaxes. Like the one where somebody smeared poop on the wall in the form of a swastika. And they, looks like we found some video, and it was the guy that reported it. Right?
Yeah, Georgia Constitution.
Yeah, Bubba Wallace.
I was about to bring up the whole Bubba Wallace
hoax.
thing. Like, it's, look, it's a noose. Is it really?
Yeah, let's see. He walked by. How long was he in NASCAR? And walked by how many of those garage pull downs before finally it was really convenient for it to offend him?
Man, I don't know. I tried to get into NASCAR, but I need to see people do something other than turn left.
I'm so into NASCAR. I went to Talladega once, sat in the right there down at the close side of the turn, and Steve remembers. I slept through it.
Steve's asking, did Bubba report that? I thought it was a crew member. It could very well
have been a crew member, but he sure as hell ran with it.
Yes, and that's where I was going to go with it. It may well have been a crew member, but it didn't stop him from going on TV and being like, racism. I mean, racism. Like, that's why that word has lost all meaning. Okay? Like, you're a racist. Okay.
Oh, and okay, so let's do this last one, and then I need to wrap it up so I can get out the door because I got to get to work.
Lori Beetlejuice?
No, well, okay, we'll do two more. My thoughts and prayers, everyone deserves to live safely as their true, authentic self in this city. Oh? Like, for example, perhaps people who don't vote for you, who don't vote the same way you think they should vote, should those people be allowed to live safely in the city where you just let the rioters run free? Okay? No, screw you. You absolute disaster. But Cory Booker, the vicious attack on Smollett was an attempted modern-day lynching. I'm glad he's safe. To those in Congress who don't feel the urgency to pass our anti-lynching bill designating lynching as a federal hate crime, I urge you to pay attention. Yeah. And let's not forget. Yeah. This is your Spartacus moment.
Yeah, the fact that he was ever even compared to Spartacus, because...
Well, he did it himself.
Oh, that's why it was
he stood up in the Congress and he made a bunch of statements, and he said, I'm kind of like Spartacus here. Yeah, he did it. He said it himself. Oh,
that's why it's so cringy.
That's why it's so cringy. That's why it's so funny.
God, it's not funny. Hey, so I just want to leave off.
My authentic self drinks black coffee. I eat cheeseburgers. I smoke cigarettes, and I don't kill my young.
Okay, so
I'm like cows that way.
Right. So,
or horses.
Nope. Okay, so my authentic self loves jokes in the dad pun style. Okay. So I'm gonna I'm going to leave this off and say there wasn't any text on the right. Because we were covering it up. I see what happened there.
I don't think it mattered. You mean this one?
No, he's talking about with the Cory Booker meme. I'm certain of it.
Well, it doesn't. It still doesn't matter.
So anyhow,
Cory Booker's an idiot. That's all you need to know.
So anyhow, Jussie Smollett is he's really disappointed with the outcome of the trial and the verdict, but he's gonna stop beating himself up over it. He's not gonna beat himself up over it. No.
Yeah, I actually had that one ready. So we'll leave you with that one. Everybody makes mistakes. Don't beat yourself up. Y'all be safe out there, guys. We love you, and we'll see you tomorrow.